So considering, each of you starting out so young with sports and that kind of thing, I'm interested to know how your sports background prepared you for the demands of the job.
For me, just growing up, I always been a person who loves to train and work out, and I always got myself into like a training facility, even at a young age. Knowing if I was going to commit to this, I was like, I really love what I do, and I love playing softball. So I found like a facility that would train me to get better, faster, stronger, just so I'm prepared for whatever the future may hold. And so just getting on a regimen and just being like structured was like a real goal of mine as well in high school, because I love to like schedule things and making sure everything falls in place. And then going out on the field and being able to play with a team and having a common goal with those girls as well was something that I loved having, and just being out on a field with a team and being a family with something. And being coached and taught and continuously learning new things every single day. And I thought softball was life. I was going to do that for the rest of my life, and nothing was going to ever change. But there was like a change later on in my 30s where I'm like, I want a different type of job where I can impact more people, help the community, something bigger than myself. I love coaching and 20-something girls, but I need to do more. Like, how can I impact those people? And so I went into the fire route, and it was an easy transition into that. Don't get me wrong, it was hard. The whole process is hard, to be honest. But it just flowed into that pathway, because that's the same way the fire career is. Like, you're going to have a regimen, you're going to train in the morning, you're going to wake up, go out to the gym, you're going to get ready, then you're going to go out training, you're going to learn something. It's continuous, and you're continuously learning. And then you're a team as well. You go out to that station, you're a family, you do everything together. You work out together, eat together, go out on calls together. And you're developing that relationship, and you're constantly moving and being like an athlete in these firehouses. And to be a firefighter has been a blessing in disguise, to be honest, because I didn't know that was a possibility for me as a young little girl. In the area I grew up in, San Bernardino County, they didn't really come to your schools and promote being a firefighter. It's different now, which is amazing.
Right.
And platforms for that for young females. But when you're younger, there wasn't anything. You didn't see it either. It was just an awesome possibility for me to get into and just work and thrive into.
I had the physical, I had the mental capacity because of sports and because of football, because of what it instilled in me and taught me all my hard work and dedication, and all the stuff that comes with the athlete background, waking up early, going to meetings, going to practice, and then being able to take care of your body, physically and mentally, and just your health, making sure you're eating right, doing the right things, having a great diet, because all firefighters, you got to be able to pull people out of burning buildings. You have to pull someone out of a car. You have to cut up a car, cut the whole roof off, roll the dash. You have to do all that. What we do as firefighters, it's a lot. A lot of people don't see what happens behind closed doors. They watch all the TV shows. They watch like, oh, it's cool, he's on a fire truck, or she's like driving a fire engine. But they don't see all the hard work that comes with it, all the training that we do on the weekends, all the training that we do when we only had 1 hour sleep the night before. But we do this because we want to. This is like our purpose. This is our career. This is what we chose to do. And people are like, Karl, how do you do it? How do you go into a burning building, or how do you put your life on the line for someone? And I said, well, I took an oath for San Jose Fire Department, and I'm going to do whatever I can to help this person. That's just how I was just bred. I guess I'm different. Like, I don't know. I think
we're all bred that way.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, like we're all, and I think that's where we have the common denominator here is like we all want to help.
What was the hardest part of the process for you all?
The physical aspect of it, it's even if you do have an idea and you've taken the classes and you're doing your homework, it's going to be hard. It's going to be days and days after more days where it's just exhausting. And that is absolutely a physically demanding part of it. And then there's the mental, right? Where like, okay, being able to push yourself and you're working towards a goal. First, it starts off as getting hired on, and then, always pushing yourself on a day-to-day basis to be able to perform the best you can for the real life incidents, the real operations on our day-to-day. So that's always kind of my goal, and the time that I am given to go and work out, that's always my goal, is like, if I don't work out a certain day, or even on days off, if I am wanting to take a lazy day, which does happen. You need a rest.
Yeah.
Which again, there's that balance, but the priority is I need to be able to perform to anything that comes our way. And I need to be able to help out my crew in whichever way they may need, whatever strengths I have. Again, my strengths are going to be different than their strengths. And then the challenges even above that is like, challenges out with your family and like financially when you haven't gotten to this point of your goals, it's like, it's hard on everybody. And being able to have that strong support system is another challenge, and you learn a lot. And again, hopefully you rise above that and you're able to, gain more experiences and overcome them.
I would say having patience is a big one. From the time you start the process, from the time you start doing your due diligence, learning about the department, from the time you put in your application, it may be a couple of years, maybe a few years before you actually get hired. So having the patience and the determination to stick with it is very tough. It's very stressful. That's huge mentally, right? And then once you get on the job, having the patience to deal with your patients, right? The people that we go out and we serve, right? We might have some individuals that might just act outlandish, just very, very aggressive, right? And you have to have the patience and the discipline to be professional, right? To deal with these people. So patience is a huge virtue to have as well.
I think it's not knowing what to expect, because I had no idea about this career path. Like what it entailed, I actually never touched a ladder in my life, and I did like the BIDL or CPAT where you had to carry a ladder. I'm like, I'm just going to muscle this and figure out as I go kind of thing. But like the techniques and the training and learning based off my size, I'm not the biggest person, but learning things the way I need to do it compared to how he does it, it's going to be completely different. And so that was probably a hard process for me. But as athletes, you have that grit where you don't give up and you're going to figure out a way. And if you're patient and work hard and have that grit, you're going to figure it out. But that's the hard process for me, was figuring out what works for me compared to what might work for these guys.
Yeah, I think the difficult thing that a lot of people don't realize going through this process, from my personal experience, was time management. I think that was the most crucial part about it, because you're going through this process, you want to become a firefighter, and there's certain steps you have to take. You have to get your EMT, you have to become a paramedic, or either or. And there's some requirements, and you have to keep stacking those requirements, stacking those certifications. But also you still have a life. You have a family at home, you still have to work, you have stuff to make ends meet. At the time when I was going through the process, I was working 2 jobs at the time. This is right after I came back from college playing football. I was working for Parks and Recs in the city of San Diego, where I was living at the time. And so I was coaching kids on Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays, and then Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, I was working construction full-time from 6 a.m. to like 5 p.m. at night. So it's about that hard work and dedication that you're willing to do for the career, and to take that step forward as the time management is, as far as, okay, everything's on hold, you're gonna have to sacrifice a lot to gain a lot. So, and for instance, I was up at night studying. I didn't know how to interview, so I was looking up how to interview for fire interviews, and the community college down the street was actually had fire science courses which helped with fire interviews. So I already have my bachelor's, I already went to school, but I went back to school to better my knowledge, to help me to get to this spot where I am now. One of the professors or the teachers was a retired battalion chief, and he helped me out so much. He became one of my mentors. I didn't know how to talk. I didn't know how to answer the questions. And I feel like in the process, once you get to that point of interviews, to become a firefighter, interviews is everything. Because that's how you sell yourself, and that's how you're trying to tell them that I'm your person that wants to work for your city, and choose me. So it comes down to the interview. I mean, of course, you got to do the testing, certifications, but if you have the interview down, I believe that's going to be very helpful for candidates that are wanting to become a firefighter.